Next up, Zvi Schreiber, founder of G.ho.st. And he's going to try to do a live demo, so in 6 minutes. Go for it, bro.
Thanks. Hey, good afternoon. So G.ho.st isn't just a company name. It's a URL, G.ho.st. That's one of the shortest URLs you'll ever type into your browser, but it's actually, I think, a big idea. It stands for the Global Hosted Operating System. And the idea is simple. Instead of creating a personal computing environment on the physical computer, we're giving you a virtual computer which lives on the web and which is available anywhere. So I'm Zvi Schreiber. I'm the founder and CEO of G.ho.st. Years ago, I did a PhD in computer science, but I've been an entrepreneur for some time. I had one B2B startup which was acquired for $500 million, and another which was acquired more modestly by IBM. And why, for my third startup, did the team and I start to rethink the entire computing environment? So let me sort of tell you why, using a little animation here. So, the operating systems that we're familiar with, Windows and Mac and Linux, have really been unchanged for a long time. If you think about it, they've all got roots going right back to the 60s even, and then they were developed into graphical forms in the 80s. And for all that time, for 30 years, we've all worked with the assumption that you've got this physical computer, and your programs are on the physical computer, and your settings and your applications, and you're walled in to that physical computer, and your whole computing environment is there, And a laptop is the only way to physically move around your stuff. So that made sense for a while, but then the internet sort of came along, in the 90s, and suddenly you're wondering, why are you walled in? There's this internet out there, and computers are talking to each other, and then the websites came along, and email, and there was lots of stuff which is available from anywhere, and yet I'm still walled in to my physical computer, and it's sort of making less and less sense. And it's not just the physical limitation of having a computer. It's also that, one of my colleagues talked about IT admin. I mean, each one of us, to some extent, has to do administration. We each worry with our computer at home about how to administer it. We have to make sure that we have, antivirus and that we deal with bugs and with updates. And then, from time to time, you've actually got to upgrade the hardware, and then you've got to, sometimes it's not working fast enough, and we sort of have to, give it a kick or whatever. And then, from time to time, you've got even bigger tasks. Eventually you run out of space, and then you buy a new hard disk, and now you've got to, reinstall and move your applications, or if you buy a new computer, and you're spending not just hours, but days at this point, moving your data, reinstalling your applications, getting your settings again. So a PC is a challenge. It's a mini data center which each one of us has to deal with. And until recently, there wasn't much choice. But then what happened is Web2.0, right? And people said, oh, just 1 second, there's an internet out there, so I don't have to be walled into this computer. And the first thing people did was they took their mail and they said, okay, I'm going to do webmail. And now I'll be able to do email anywhere in the world. And then more recently, people uploaded their photos to Flickr, say. And then people have been uploading their videos. So I've still got my offline computer, but I'm doing more and more things on the web. And more recently, we've moved into real, collaborative applications. So people are doing delicious and all kinds of sharing on the web. And of course, now the applications themselves are moving onto the web. So you can do, there are many competitors which are compatible with Microsoft Office, but which are on the web. You can do Google Docs and Zoho and ThinkFree and others. So now I've got this stuff on the web, which is great. But now I've got, you see all the keys there. I've got 20 different passwords, 20 different URLs. So when I come to a new computer, I can get to my stuff in principle. But in practice, it's a lot of work to find everything and remember where I've got stuff. And it's getting worse and worse as we move things to the web. Each one of those sites is like a walled garden. It's nice in its own, but I can't really move stuff between them. There's no compatibility to move files from Flickr to Google Docs or whatever. So this is where the G.ho.st vision comes in. That we really say we can make sense of the whole environment and give you one URL and one password, and take care of your files, and then we can help you upload the stuff which is still offline. So, G.ho.st is in public alpha. It's on the web. I have a free virtual computer. You can have a free virtual computer. And of course, as you'd expect, I'm running this on my virtual computer, and I'm running it right here on the stage computer. So, I didn't know if this stage computer would have PowerPoint, or if I could put my files. All I knew for sure is it would have a browser. And a browser is really all I need. If there's a browser, then my Ghost virtual computer can possess, if you like, the computer. So this computer has become my computer now. And you can see, here's my desktop. I've got a start menu over here, and I've got some RSS feeds, and I've got some clocks. Everything is just how I left it the last time. I've got a virtual file system. Do you see here? This is a Google Doc. This is, sorry, a YouTube video, and this is a Google Doc. And here's an MP3 file, and here's an Amazon product, and that's our revenue model. If I buy that Amazon product, we get some affiliate revenue. And then we've got also a physical file storage, which is files that are actually stored at Ghost, and I can edit them using all the applications that we've integrated with. So I've integrated with Zoho, for example, for editing. We've integrated with Zoho for editing files, and here's a promotion code you might like to take note of when you register for Ghost. And we've got Zimbra for email and Mibu for instant messenger, and we've really sort of integrated with the best of the web, and it runs in many languages. So in summarizing then, let me just tell you a little bit about the team. We've got where is it? Our team is actually, ghosts go through walls, and one of the interesting things about our team is that it's partly in Jerusalem, Israel, and partly in Palestine, in Ramallah, Palestine. So this 400-mile wall, which is 20 foot high, is one that we quite literally collaborate across. But in other ways, we're a virtual computer. Okay, everything we do is actually hosted by Amazon Web Services. So we provide a virtual computer, and we use one. We've taken, last sentence, we've taken $2 million in venture funding from a top fund. This is what we've achieved, some deep technology from the first million. And we've got some exciting plans for the rest as well. Thank you.
Guys?
I know you've got to love a guy who can put a development team across Israel and Palestine right there. I think that's terrific. This is a big idea. You've got an interesting team, and you've got some real problems that you're addressing. So I like it. On the market side, what's fun about it is that the pain is there not only for the consumer, but actually in the enterprise. People are really struggling to bring many applications together in the cloud compute model and deal with files and storage systems in a virtualized way. And I've known Zvi for quite a long time, and he's a smart guy. He's made money before, and he's figured out how to do something there, which a lot of people have struggled with in the virtual file storage. And then I think the other piece that's really interesting here is that if you look at where this is going, the people who are challenged to really make money on the web, the Amazon and so forth, that are providing all the infrastructure, have many layers to solve before you get to being able to have virtualized applications. So we think you're a really interesting place, and hope the team does really well.
I agree this is a huge problem, and that if we could solve it, it'd be a great thing to do, just like world peace, if that could be achieved. But the challenge here is that, are people really going to leave their desktop applications behind? And if not, how big is the market for this? How many people are going to adopt these, totally online applications, or are you going to leave them behind? Or if you're going to try to bring people's desktop applications along, I'm trying to imagine the teams of programmers that are going to be needed to integrate the single sign-on, the data storage, the backup for the hundreds and thousands of applications that people want to use. And so, for me, this just seems like something that is fascinating. It would be wonderful it could be solved, but it even may be more complex than solving the problems in the Middle East. But if anybody can do it, I think you guys can. So,
thank you.
And I think actually, just to rebut that for a second, one of the smart things you said was you're not going to try to build all those apps. You're going to partner with the Zimbras and the others. And figuring out how you do that, I think, is a clever way not to get into the migrate people's desktops or force them to change things, but instead give them a way to take advantage of all the cloud compute capability. Is that right?
Absolutely. That's a key part of the development.
But it does seem like they're asking you to abandon, and first of all, use their browser or use their email client or use their chat client, or abandon Word or whatever particular word processing program you use to use another one. And so there's a massive issue of customer change and adoption. I think.
Well, we start with young people who are going between schools.
All right, we're not letting you rebut. We didn't let those guys rebut. We're not going to let you rebut. Anything else from you guys?
There's a fun thing to point out in this circumstance. I have a feeling you'll end up doing a lot less than you've projected to do in the whole vision there. But the thing, for example, that really struck us was just the virtual file system alone is a huge deal. Pick that, you can build a company around it.
Thank you very very much.
Thank you, Zvi. Congratulations.